Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick the Quan. We got another video for today's highest mathematical edge pick. Yesterday, gave you guys the Cleveland Guardians money line that cashed. Overall, yesterday was a very profitable day to start out this new week on betting. Went 2-1, profit over 4 units. Guardians was our highest mathematical edge pick. They won in the ninth, 1-0, aligned perfect with the probabilities. My model slightly had the Phillies favored, not much, and it was a very close game. Hitting was very similar, so it was nice to see that go that way, and we closed positive as well on that line relative to DraftKings. So that was cool having the market confirmation. So this now puts us on a 2-0 streak on our highest mathematical edge picks. Looking just to continue this momentum, bring it into today, and I'll talk about the pick. We'll get into the math, just kind of the usual schedule. So we're going to be back on the Guardians today, actually. So today's highest mathematical edge pick is the Cleveland Guardians. And as always, I have, as far as my highest hold on, Hershey, please, bro. I post all my daily picks on my X account, at Nick the Quan 44. So if you want access to any of my picks, they all get posted on my X account first. I post those daily, they're free. They're all posted on my X account. And then I post more insight regarding the highest mathematical edge pick on my Instagram account. And then I do the video analysis here on my YouTube. So if you want access to the picks first, quick, so you can move on them, definitely go to my X account, Nick the Quan 44. Hold on, buddy. And then my dog is like tweaking. And my Instagram account is where I go further into analysis on the highest mathematical edge picks. So that's where you'll be seeing this infographic. So my model has the Guardians at a 47.15% probability, thus showing this damn dog. Okay, sorry about that. I spoiled him way too much, needless to say. So just kind of like yesterday, Phillies are a pretty thick favorite today. Guardians are a pretty large underdog, and my model views the Phillies really as being heavily overvalued, and likewise the Guardians being significantly undervalued. So this is denoted again by that Guardians money line probability being a 47.15. So the Phillies are a negative 17.77% expected value. Cleveland a plus 21.65% expected value, so high, just like yesterday. We're going to be risking 2.28%, which is 2.28 units, looking for a potential profit of 3.6 units. So now really we can just jump into the math. I can go over the interior models, what they had, and just, again, the usual we always do. Okay, all right, so going into the interior models. So first model, and real quick before I do this, like I always post about, if you want insight into how the models are calibrated, how the first layer calibration works in the interior models, how the second layer calibration works, how the third layer calibration works. My first, I'd probably say like 10 videos, I always kind of explain that. But for time purposes, I'm gonna kind of deviate away from that and just get straight into math. So model 1 had the Phillies at a 70.59. Model 2, Phillies 83.33. Model 3, Phillies at a 53.23. Model 4, Phillies at a 61.9. Model 5, Phillies at a 55. Take a look at Model 6. We got the Guardians at a 51.45. Model 7, Guardians 50%. Model 8, Guardians 55.56. Model 9, Phillies 60%. So overall, when going through the 9 models, overall, in favor of the Phillies, but you can see most of these probabilities, there's a few that were quite high, but we got to take into account the sample size, those probabilities. But again, overall, just the volume of these 9 models, you can see that overall, speaking, while in favor of the Phillies, definitely not in favor past what their current price is. And that is then established by that initial ensemble output. So the Phillies are an initial ensemble output of a 53.05%. So relative to their price, that is significantly below what Vegas is pricing them at. So already this is showing value on the Guardians side. Then we use second layer calibration, which is essentially how it works briefly, is just like how first layer calibration would work. We're seeing how these initial ensemble model probabilities perform in the real world as far as their actual performance goes. And when my ensemble produces 53% probabilities, currently that's hitting at a 67% rate. Sample size is not massive yet though. So the second layer calibration raises the Phillies up to a 55.73%. Now, third layer and final calibration, we have to figure out, right? which market region the Phillies reside in today. Is it advantageous, disadvantageous? And this could be mathematically, but also pricing, which I'll get into. So the market region the Phillies are in today overall have a 47% win rate. So mathematically, that's already a disadvantage relative to the entire market. But then relative to the Phillies pricing, which them being a large favorite at minus 193 at the time of this analysis, that is a significant disadvantage. So we apply that for third layer calibration to the Phillies to get our final, confirmed probability for the Phillies. And that comes out to the Phillies being only a 52.85% probability, which is a little higher than yesterday. Yesterday, they were at 50.86, and that's when we hit the Guardians, and the Guardians cashed. So Phillies now today are 52.85. Still, though, relative to their pricing at minus 193, significantly overvalued, which just kind of brings us full circle back to what I was just saying as far as the edge assessment goes. So again, Guardians are 47.15% probability at plus 158 odds. They have an expected value of 21.65%, and we're putting down 2.28%. So let's continue this momentum. My model's been performing really well recently, which is nice to see as more data is accumulated, variance is starting to smoothen out, and the actual results we're looking for are starting to take fruition. In my past 10 picks, I'm 8-2. So again, as if you want access to all my plays, not just the single one, I advise definitely check out my X account, Nick the Quant 44. But anyway, yeah, lock up this pick and let's just keep smashing. See ya.